Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let's Get Fired. If you have any questions you want us to ask our guest or have any crazy work stories you want to share with us, go ahead and email them to us at letsgetfiredpodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's letsgetfiredpodcast@gmail.com. Let's get into it.
Didn't they give your wife drugs?
He used to like live stream himself in the shower.
And that friend complained that there was a joke about a uterus.
We don't have enough fights here in Utah.
But I love guys. I don't like guys, but I do
This
love
is a
them.
great podcast. Welcome to the Let's Get Fired podcast. We're your hosts, Drew Simon right here and Quinn Johnson. But our special guest today, all the way from Boston, it's Nicholas Stubblefield.
Yeah. Boston native.
Boston native. Let's
Ann
call it
Arbor
that.
adjacent.
Ann Arbor adjacent.
And Improv Broadway alum.
An Improv Broadway alum.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Which is the mic I miss the most.
Yeah.
I miss Improv.
No.
If Improv Broadway came back,
Dude, I'll talk to Elena and she'll be like, I miss that mic. I'm like, yeah, it was a great crowd. You feel like you could kind of you could try anything. You like, I just felt so much more like free. Like, let's just give this a shot.
is there a way to get it back? Is that door totally closed?
I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go down that path. I don't know if I want to, grow the ire of the musical improv troupe.
That's their turf now.
That is their turf.
That is their turf.
But yeah, it was great. But I mean, now we have Oz's mic.
Yeah.
Oz,
Which isn't
good.
bad.
It's pretty good.
Very good mic.
I was thrilled to walk into that. It took me a while to find the basement.
Yeah,
but I found it, and there is.
You just had to follow the smell of the fake alcohol.
There is. Is it a pseudo speakeasy?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have mocktails.
Just like what was that, Latter Day Cafe? My first ever comedy show.
It is. Hey, really stepping it up.
Yes, I am.
Were they live streaming
fake
it?
coffee to fake alcohol?
Oh,
yeah,
dude. And then when they were looking at their fake coffee, you're like, this cannot be better for you than
no,
coffee.
definitely not.
I don't care about this. Is neon yellow. what you're squirting into this drink?
They went out of business.
They did.
Didn't they give your wife drugs, Drew?
Yeah. So she ordered one, and they're like, "We're out of caffeine, so we didn't put caffeine in it. But if you want, you can take these pills."
Oh,
that's great.
And the guy was like, "It's not caffeine, but it's like caffeine."
Adderall.
Yeah.
I do like as well. I mean, I can't believe it didn't work out because I thought that the promotion was great. Standing in the shower on a live stream.
Wait, what?
Remember that? He used to
No.
like live stream himself in the shower. Like, I didn't see his dick, but like it just like he'd just be in the shower like talking like.
Is this Oz? Are we talking about Oz? Or are we talking about the owner of Latter Day Cafe?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. That was, dude. I forgot about some.
So
of
wait,
this
are you
stuff.
telling me Latter Day Cafe failed? Is that was it a squandered business?
Tragically.
Well, also,
Yeah.
like, in the back of his mind a little bit, doing that live stream in the shower, he's thinking, this might get me laid.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
That's
Yeah. Wait,
the thought process.
They just haven't seen my traps and like that's what's holding them back. They know they can get free coffee from me. Fake coffee. Sorry.
They can straddle the line.
yeah.
They can straddle the line.
Hey.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so this is a podcast where we ask you about your job history, and then sometimes
Okay.
it just becomes essentially a therapy session for Drew.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I actually had a question starting out
Go
with
for
Drew.
it.
So I really didn't want to forget today's podcast, so I set a certain reminder in my phone, and I really didn't want to lose out, and I just want to know, Drew, what is it like to be a total alpha male? Should I show the camera? Is that gonna show up beast mode in front of the Salt Lake City Temple? Can you elaborate on this, Drew? Because I'm a total gamma, and I want to know, Drew, what's it like to be in the mind of an alpha? I've never done an alpha podcast before.
Yeah, well, it is a very cool picture because I was wearing a cool t-shirt.
Yeah, you were wearing it. Was really cool.
Well, also, I'm a Seahawks fan. That's a Marshawn Lynch t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
That was his nickname, Beast Mode.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the football player, which
And
it doesn't sound as cool when I'm wearing another man's branded t-shirt.
Mhm.
And then you're standing in front of the house of the Lord, and you were like, "What better way to show this off?"
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, there's a picture of me when I'm like 10, in front of the Salt Lake Temple in a Too Fast, Too Furious shirt. But that was my mom took that.
No, I took that by
I
myself.
want to know, that is a selfie. What was going through your head at the time? Is it like for the Lord?
You posted that to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I wanted actually Facebook, but
Sorry,
Yeah.
same company.
back then it wasn't. So I just was like, I want a picture in front of the temple. And I didn't have anyone.
And this is, I just want to keep looking at that. You wanted this in front of the temple.
And like, also, what is this face you're doing? Because that is like,
that is
good as you're trying to fuck. Like, oh, what's up, shoddy?
This is the I'm gonna derf so hard at EFY face.
Yeah, and so there's just a lot of things.
Yeah,
in
and
that.
I was like, that's a good profile picture.
And it was a profile photo.
It was I think very briefly I got real negative feedback real quick.
So immediately people did not like it.
No, they did not. And then because that was the day I went to the color festival that day.
Okay.
And
like holy, or
I had there's like a Hindu temple in Spanish Fork where they do like a festival of colors.
Holy.
And I wore like a bandana and sunglasses to it because chalk will get in your face. And I took a picture beforehand wearing just the bandana and covering my face, and people were like, that's a good profile picture. So that
Just
was
cover it up.
Yeah.
that was,
Cover it.
that was my profile picture.
It was a very long story to get to that.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out. But I like that. You're on your heels, and don't get it twisted. We like this photo.
We love this photo.
I would love
this
it.
photo.
I would love it if it wasn't me. I know,
but Drew,
this will probably stay my lock screen for for a while.
Wait, Drew, didn't you, because of the attention we've brought to it, didn't you delete this photo?
I did not. It's still on Facebook.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
No, I thought that would be a real bitch move to take it off. Yeah.
And then I just would post that photo all the time because obviously I have it.
Yeah.
So
you have it. I have it now.
Yeah.
Downloaded on my phone.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
It's in the cloud.
It's
in
there.
the cloud.
It is
It's
outside
never
of your
escaping.
You can
hands.
burn my house down. I still have it. So
I'm gonna have to impose that onto the video version of the episode.
you remember how you're like we need a
You
new,
will, yeah.
like, we need a new like photo of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
should
for
that
the
be the
podcast. We need to both stand in front of the temple.
Should we buy beast mode shirts?
That would actually be sick.
Drew, why isn't
Yeah.
that your comedy headshot? Actually,
Yeah.
I think that would,
I like that.
Maybe it should be.
I think it
Yeah.
should be.
It shows a lot about you, because also it's like it is actually geniusly hilarious.
Mhm.
In a weird way, it is.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
a weird way. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just look
I don't.
at
No,
it.
I don't think the genius is self-explanatory.
No, it's not. No, you have to look.
Yeah,
you have
that's
to take
what
a
I
look
meant. In a
It's-
weird way, it is genius.
Because like he's being ironic here.
Yeah. No, I'm playing 4D chess. Like
Yeah.
I knew this. I knew it wasn't cool.
I knew
Mhm.
7
Yeah.
years down the line, it
Yeah.
would come up in a roast.
You were playing
Yeah.
like the long haul,
Yeah.
planting comedy
Yeah.
seeds.
Yeah. I wasn't even doing stand up yet, but I was
No,
like, this is,
you knew, Drew. You knew.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a funny guy. It's probably gonna happen.
You knew what you would be doing in
I
Spokane.
like that. Okay, Nicholas. I didn't know I could like you anymore. The fact that you did that, pulled that one out, that's
That was
amazing.
Very awesome.
Maybe this is the direction this podcast.
I
really
wanted
needs
this to
go
be
in.
special.
It's
yeah.
just us, me and the guest, just kind of just shitting on Drew.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't like that, but we
Well,
can.
but
we
it
can
sounds
do that.
like
There are a
shitting
lot
on you.
more pictures we could pull up on Drew's Facebook and
Yeah.
have him explain
Yeah.
to us.
Let's not do that. But
Okay, Drew. I feel like this is the only content people will click on.
I
People
don't
like you.
I know.
You
People do like-
you have a cosmopolitan fan base. The
Yeah.
Germans are asking for
Yeah.
this,
The
Drew.
Germans are asking for you for more than one reason. Okay. Well, that couldn't have been kicked off better.
Yeah.
But Nicholas, let's talk about you. And if it gets boring, we'll go back to Drew.
Okay.
But anyways, what was your first job?
My first job. The first job where I got paid, I was a tour guide at a nuclear reactor.
But go
Wow.
figure. Go fucking
That's-
Are
figure.
you like what did you study?
So I double majored in physics and political science. in college.
Classic.
And your master's.
And then I did a master's in nuclear engineering.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
So was this were you before college you did this?
This was the summer after my first year of college. So I never really I did not work.
You never had a job before.
I never know. I was just an existing kind of person.
So did your parents have money?
My parents did not have money. I just kind of learned how to deal with it. I guess.
Yeah. Curious.
No. I just like sometimes we the church took care of us. We got a lot of meals from like the Deseret Industries Food Bank.
Fun.
And then I was able to get a scholarship to college, and so I'm like, okay, well, we'll get work when I need to get work.
Where'd you grow up again?
I grew up in Idaho Falls, Idaho.
That's right, dude. You were right next to fucking
Rexburg.
What's his name? Oh, you're right next to John Carter.
John Carter.
And Pocatello. Yeah.
Oh, is that where
Did
John
you ever
Carter
hear
is?
about the Donkey Man?
I saw a video of the Donkey
did
Man.
That
He
make
was
it to Idaho Falls?
It circulated. Actually, no, a lot of things. So this was in Pocatello that Donkey Man happened. So sometimes Pocatello things would flirt on up to Idaho Falls, but also Blackfoot things. Blackfoot was kind of notorious for bad hazing rituals where people would in the high school they would shove phones up your butt.
Phones.
And so that was usually like the seediest stuff that was usually circulating.
The person's phone up their butt, or like a stranger's phone.
Also, and it's like
I think it was the purse.
Is this like an Android?
This was a flip phone.
Okay.
No, these are
not as impressive.
Also,
they're shoving like a Samsung S3 up there. I was like, Jesus Christ.
A Galaxy Fold.
I love
Galaxy Folds.
No, put it in and open.
What it lacks in length, it does make up in girth.
I do like these stories though, because it's just so fun looking back. Where they're like they show a phone up this dude's ass, and they're like, he's so fucking. Look how gay he is now. He has got a phone in his ass. Isn't that gay? Not us for shoving it up there though.
No, that's straight as hell.
When I was gazing at his butthole, I was like, this is. Anyways, it's cool. So
it is cool, isn't it, Quinn?
I forget you're from Idaho.
I'm from Idaho. That's what happened. A man got murdered on Disney Street. That was a local street, actually.
Disney Street.
Yeah. Well, usually the things like people talk about the sex with donkeys and shoving phones up the butt, but one of my favorite Idaho Falls story has to be about a man named Derek Larson, who made sexual advances on another man late at night on a playground, and this other man took it so poorly that he stabbed him 36 times in the playground inner tube.
Look at a lot of the stories kind of circling back to people trying to prove they're not gay.
That is. They're very serious in Idaho Falls.
I'm so fucking definitely not gay.
It's the straightest.
The guy would rather spend 90 years in prison than for anyone
Take me to jail. Take me to jail.
I will ruin both of our lives.
I'll be locked up with men.
I will kill on the straight hill.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, dude. I went up. I think I said this last week, but I went up to Idaho Falls for to do like Comedy Church.
Comedy Church did a show in Idaho Falls. Really?
Yeah. So I went up there. It's it's an interesting place because it's like on the way to Rexburg, right?
Yeah. It's on the same road.
Yeah, strange
right
place.
There.
So like we walk into the venue and it's like all these like dining tables and they have like this stage with like an elaborate stage with like a carriage on there. And I was like, what kind of, it's like, what show is, I was like, this is an interesting stage. And we're like, yeah, we're here for the show with the comics. And like, oh no, we're a dinner theater. He's like, God, I wish we had you guys. We can't sell this thing out. And then we're like, okay. So he's like, it's next door. So we go next door, open the door, and it's like a children's nursery.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, what? I was like, what's going on in this town? And they're like, no, you're upstairs. And you go upstairs, and it's like a BYU room classroom.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And they're like, this is it. And
so you didn't get the main stage.
No, that was the main stage.
Okay,
but we didn't get the dinner theater stage.
You did not get the.
But anyways, Idaho Falls. There's a certain kind of sadness up there. I couldn't. Everywhere I looked, and the people I talked to, there was just a certain.
There's a solemnity, yes.
Desperation.
I had a roommate from Yukon.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Cool.
All right.
Wild.
He always said Idaho Falls. Never said Yukon.
Well, Yukon is just so just so small right there. Yukon also means something different out east.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it does. It means University of Connecticut.
Drew.
Hey, you should know that, Drew.
I know all about that.
And just what? Yeah, Drew. No, that's why you're trying to avert our eyes from UConn because
Mhm.
you don't want to talk about a real blue blood.
Dude, let's not go there.
Are you a real
Dan
blood,
Hurley
Drew?
just turned down a job at the Lakers to keep coaching at UConn.
That's actually pretty
sports.
badass. He turned down Kentucky and the Lakers in the same offseason.
Also, of course, you can turn on Kentucky. Like, yeah, fuck you guys.
I mean, Kentucky is like
It's
the premier.
Oh yeah, it's the program. But like, I just went back to back.
yeah.
So
No,
it's like, why would you just talk about I would be like a downgrade.
yeah.
I gotta
It's
teach
like
all these guys.
it's like if Oregon won the national championship in football 2 years in a row, and then their coach got offered Alabama and he turned it down. That's kind of
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Once you have that momentum, it's like, dude.
yeah.
Anyways,
I can't
We're talking
contribute to
sports.
this conversation.
No, I know
I
about
fenced.
I know about you.
Want to talk about
fencing?
swords?
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you
So-
ever fought a pirate?
I've never fought a pirate. I did fight, however, a man who later came to a comedy show, brought his friend, and that friend complained that there was a joke about a uterus. That was at the American Falls Theater. We got a lot of complaints that day.
was it a risque show?
It was about as risque
Wait, it was Adam
as
Browd
Clean
bit.
Utah. So Adam Browd had a great bit about a uterus. And then there was another comic who wore a shirt that said "Children, not guns." And this man later wrote an email to Ryan, our show booker, about how he was coming to expect comedy and not to be hit over the head with political messages and risque jokes about female anatomy.
I like that because he's like, dude, I almost went a whole day without thinking about it.
I almost went a whole day.
And he said, yeah, like that's honestly like, when I was like Mormon, like that's how my mind worked. Like because it'd be like, oh, it's been 2 days since I've thought about about dick and jacking off, and then it's like, but anyways,
And then on nuts. And then someone spoils your streak.
I know. You're like, whoops.
I would be bummed out. Like you go, with your
Yeah,
family.
he had to go home and
you go see the Sound of Freedom with your family, and then you're like, next week let's go to a comedy show,
and then
that filth is.
He's like, fuck, I have to go home and masturbate now.
It is just so.
Someone said uterus, and now I have to come.
Damn it.
And isn't it even more fun? Like now that like you're. Like you've gone to these other scenes in the Boston scene to think about someone complaining about
a uterus.
about, like Adam Browd and like you like being like what they did up there was crazy.
Was wild. No.
Yeah.
People no, in Boston it's better. Usually you just get heckled, and if you're a really rowdy comedian, you will then go into the audience and fight that heckler. There is a particular mic I really like. It happens late on Thursday nights, and it's a rowdy, just out of pocket mic. The first mic I ever went to, about 5 minutes in, the power went out, and then the following week, a fight broke out between one of the patrons who frequents it and one of the comics.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good. It's a fun scene.
Very Boston.
Yeah, it's
like almost
full.
seems like a caricature.
We don't have enough.
Yeah.
We don't have enough fights here in Utah.
No, you don't.
Also, people complain. Have you ever gotten a complaint for one of your?
I think so, but I can't remember.
I don't think I've ever had a complaint.
No, yeah, you have.
Oh, okay.
I feel like there's a barista.
Oh, yeah.
Are you talking about your jokes or Quinn's jokes? Because
No.
your jokes have definitely gotten complaints before.
Yeah, Drew.
Oh,
Yeah,
Don't
your
fucking
jokes.
kid yourself. People definitely have complained about what you've said on stage.
Well, I'm shocked right now. This is news to me.
This is news. You don't deliberately write these.
But you forget. I have to bring this up like every podcast. Like he has the Spokane, Washington brain on his head, where he's like, "What I'm doing is like I might as well be walking into the celestial kingdom right
I'm
now."
like, yeah. I'm like,
You're still wearing garments, Drew.
Yeah, I'm clean.
I saw you. Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
clean man.
Yeah, clean jokes.
Mm-hmm. About Taco Bell Mexicans.
What's cool about a nuclear reactor?
So, what's cool about a nuclear reactor? Several things. The way they can go wrong. That's hot. That's sexy. One of my favorite stories was at a nuclear reactor in Idaho. It was a test reactor. It was called SL1. And it was during the Cold War days. There were 3 dudes manning this nuclear reactor, and they were trying to test like if they could make smaller nuclear reactors to take them out to essentially either the Arctic Circle or Greenland to power radar stations that could detect incoming Soviet nuclear warheads. And so like, okay, how do we make nuclear power plants small and that we can move them over to Greenland? So they had a very small nuclear reactor, 3 people manning it. And rumor has it that there was a love affair. There was a little triangle in between the 3, not between the 3 guys, but one guy was sleeping with the other guy's wife. And so he decided to sabotage the whole affair. And what he did is one night when he was pulling control rods, which essentially like mediates how controlled the nuclear reactor is going, if it's either really hot or if it's cooled down, how energetic it is. And he decided to pull the control rod all the way out, making the reaction go super critical. The reactor exploded because all the water heated up. It had a steam explosion. All 3 of them died. And when later the cleanup team went in, they found the guy who had pulled out the control rod pinned to the ceiling. When he had pulled it out, the control rod had entered through his body and pinned him onto the ceiling. In fact, he was missing for the first full day of the search because they just didn't find his body until they looked up. And
holy shit.
That's what's cool about nuclear power. That's what I really like.
That's very fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
Yeah, so do with that what you will.
No, it's very cool. And you said it was hot and sexy.
It's hot and sexy. Yeah. Those are really like the only adjectives I really know.
You know, it's something I heard someone say about what's cool about like radiation. So it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. I thought you would enjoy that.
I did enjoy that. Yeah. Thank you, Quinn.
That's okay. So also, just a side note, you know who I used to think you kind of sounded like Mulaney, but now I don't think that. You know who you remind me, like your voice reminds me of?
Who's that, Quinn?
Tom Papa.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
I think you just like
see it.
No, like just
you have to hear it. You have to hear it,
the
Drew.
Cadence.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, don't worry. I know he's not used to watching comics like him, but just listen. You'll hear it.
He's not your Joe Rogan.
I like Tom Papa.
Yeah, Tom Papa's great. Tom Papa's great.
I saw him at the Comedy Cellar. Then right after that, COVID happened.
Oh, nuts! Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But anyways, so that's cool. Yeah. I enjoy that story. It's a very fun story.
That was a fun story.
A lot of bad shit happens in Idaho.
Yeah.
And it should, because it's a horrible place.
One of the first governors was assassinated with dynamite.
Sack potatoes? Oh.
Dynamite.
No, dynamite, wow. Actually. No, he was, the governor was anti-union and had, it was after his term as governor. And so.
Can I guess why he was anti-union?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a bunch of guys getting together.
Just a bunch of guys. That's Idaho history right there. Just a bunch of dudes.
Just a bunch of guys. Let's live as far apart as we can from each other.
Spread them.
Yeah. Don't spread them though. Anyways. So he got assassinated.
He got assassinated because the union bosses they hired a dynamite expert who had recently done a job in Colorado, blowing up a railroad, murdering many, and they hired him to booby trap the ex-governor's gate door, and he did, and the governor walked. Exploded. He lived for a little bit longer. His arms and legs did blow off.
Wow.
But that is, I think his name is Stonenberg. I think that was his name.
Way to go out.
It's a terrible way to die. But that's Idaho. That's the lengths people will go to show that they're not gay in Idaho.
History.
It's like almost respectable. It's like,
very.
I would blow up.
It's very
a guy.
endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you learn a lot about Idaho history in school?
I actually had to search. I had a hunt for that.
Really?
They don't give you that kind of information. The really only thing they tell you about Idaho history is that the Mormons ended up there first by mistake before they went to Salt Lake City.
That's our claim to fame.
That's it. They accidentally settled in Idaho and they're like, oh, this isn't God's land. And then they moved down south.
That's the most my testimony has ever been re-sparked is the idea that the pioneers stopped in Idaho and were like, wait, is this the place? And they were like, oh, and they were like, nope, No, fuck this.
That's it. That's divinity right there. That they were able to
then,
get
like,
an answer.
A few of them stayed in what is now Rexburg.
Settling Rexburg, but it's phenomenal, and I think that describes Idaho's relationship to Utah. Is it just kind of has the straggling residue Mormons?
Oh yeah, no, it's area. Like it's just like I always viewed Utah and Idaho as like I was like they're together, like, but Idaho's just like the estranged.
Yeah, well,
brother.
Idaho Falls is as much Utah as like St. George is Utah.
Yeah. It just one you want to live in, and like it's crazy. The moment you enter the Utah borders, it just immediately starts looking better. And you're like, okay, these got some mountains.
We always talk about the mountains, Quinn. We love the mountains.
Yeah, because
we miss the mountains.
Why don't you like the fucking mountains? Look outside. Look how stunning they are.
They're stunning.
That's what everyone says when they've come here.
Breathtaking.
Like, wow.
Quinn.
I will say,
I'm blown away by this, and I'm like, yeah, it's not everybody doesn't fucking have this.
From Eastern Washington growing up, we always went over to North Idaho, Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
And we were always like, this is like breathtaking and stunning.
Stunning.
Then I applied to go to BYU, Idaho. And I was like, oh, I love Idaho. And I got to Rexburg. And I think after like 2 months of not seeing a pine tree, I was depressed.
No, I was up there. Me and Drew did a comedy show.
Yes, you did. Drew's dad came to that comedy show, I heard.
Shout out.
And it was like the beginning of May, and there weren't still no leaves on the trees, and it just was dark and cloudy.
Very cold.
It's a bleak. Rexburg is a bleak place.
Yeah, it's very depressing. Anyways, so your first job was a tour guide.
It was a tour guide in a nuclear reactor. It was retired. It was a retired nuclear reactor.
Do you work in nuclear?
I do mostly like nuclear policy stuff now. So I've kind of switched into the social science side of things. So we're doing, I do more like an academic job. We're getting funding from the Department of Energy to interview people in Kemmer, Wyoming. Because Bill Gates wants to build a nuclear reactor out there, and the DOE is interested in finding ways to make nuclear reactor siting a little bit more environmentally just and more inclusive of community feedback. And so that's kind of our job. Like we're inquiring into how the people of Kemmer, Wyoming feel about the construction of a nuclear reactor.
Is it a good idea?
That is, so our job is we don't take a position for or against. We're just kind of evaluating what the people of Wyoming feel.
My mom hates Bill Gates.
Your mom hates Bill Gates. Why? Does she conspiracy theory?
Yeah, definitely.
So like
he's gonna buy all the farmland and starve us all.
Okay. Really? I haven't heard that one from Bill. I have heard the one that he
wants to blow dust at the sun.
Blow dust at the sun. That is okay. That's a fun form of geoengineering right there.
Because I think the idea was to help block the UV.
Yeah, it's a climate change technique.
So that was
But then that's just Snowpiercer. You get a Snowpiercer.
Growing up in Washington State, Bill Gates was this such revered person. And throughout school, we were all like, he's the best person. He's literally Jesus of Washington. And
because he is a Washington guy.
Yeah. And now all those
headquarters.
People, especially in Eastern Washington, are like, we hate that guy.
And if you're like,
that
why?
fucking nerd.
Yeah.
And if you go, why Eastern Washington? Do they hate him?
I don't.
They're not the coastal elites. They're everyday Joes and schmoes, just like you and I, Quinn.
Absolutely. But the difference between you and I is we don't live in Yakima.
We don't live in Yakima.
Have you ever seen a photo of Yakima?
I have never seen.
Would like to see what Yakima looks like.
I would love to see what Yakima looks
Drew's
like.
part of the world.
Okay. I've seen a person from Drew's part of the world wearing a Beast Mode t-shirt in front of the Salt Lake City Temple.
To me.
Yakima is definitely not Eastern Washington.
Where is it? Central?
It's definitely more Western.
You know what?
Does Eastern Washington also want part in the Greater Idaho movement? Have you heard about the Greater Idaho movement?
Oh, yeah, I know. They want to pick like Idaho, Eastern Washington, Eastern Oregon. They want to put that all into one state.
Yeah.
Which it's like, hey, good luck having money for anything.
Yeah, they want to create mega Idaho.
So mixed feelings. I do think secession is good.
Okay, secession is the answer.
Well,
Drew, quote.
I don't think as a whole country, but I think people who hate each other shouldn't be forced to stay in a relationship. And maybe they should, we should just let them split up and see how it goes.
You know what? I think that all of the red districts actually in every blue state should join Idaho. I think Idaho should just be this great megalith.
It just takes
I want parts of Idaho to exist in Massachusetts.
I want to be able to go to Victorville, California, and be like, we're still in Idaho.
We're still in Idaho, guys.
Still in Idaho.
Go to Chicago, and as soon as you leave the boundary of Chicago, you're right back in Idaho in any direction.
That was the thing I didn't know about Oregon. Like the moment you leave Portland, you get outside of those borders, it's just like QAnon. And I did not. I guess it's the same way when people asking about Utah, they don't know Salt Lake's a blue city. You're like, so it's
and that's the thing. Like Spokane, like proper is pretty progressive. It's like when you get outside, it gets a little wild.
Like 2 blocks away.
It's funny because people from Spokane, well, there's definitely more black people in Spokane than in Utah, but people from Spokane talk about Utah the way people from Utah talk about Eastern Washington. They're just like the joke you would always like. You only performed in front of militias, and when I talk to Spokane comics, like, "How's Utah?" Like that's
No, I mean it's just how it is at all these places. It's like unless you've actually gone to somewhere, you don't know.
Oh yeah, no. Everyone has like a caricature of what that place is. But I like that. We should keep doing that. I told my step grandpa I was thinking about maybe moving to Austin, and he's like, dude, Austin, it's just a bunch of gun loving rednecks everywhere. And I was like, I don't think you know anything about Austin at all.
Yeah.
Step grandpa seems to be out of the loop.
No,
absolutely. It's like forever. It's been like the Portland of Texas.
No, he's a very progressive man from Minnesota who does not like anything inside Texas.
He's got a backwards way of thinking about those people down south, your step grandpa. I think he needs to update the way he sees the world.
It's definitely, once you leave Texas and you enter New Mexico, it's like more civilized.
Has he ever seen that picture of you in front of the temple?
Oh, I mean, he's a faithful member of the church, so he probably loves that.
He would
actually
love that.
No, he's like, well, at least he's doing one thing right.
He's on the covenant path.
He is. You are probably one of the only comics in Utah on the covenant path.
So I'm just gonna take a guess that
that's your third White Claw. Yeah, I can just tell. I mean, they're just White Claw cans.
You can count
over here.
So my guess is you've only had 2 jobs.
I have had more than 2.
3.
You counting being a missionary?
Okay, all right.
No.
I was not counting. We're not counting missionary work. We're not. All right. That's not. I don't know what boundaries this podcast.
No. We're not counting that.
Okay.
I'm offended that Drew.
We
said
don't.
That.
Okay.
I accused him of counting it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. No. I didn't count the mission.
Okay.
Don't worry. I didn't count the mission.
I take it back.
I have had. Let's take stock.
This is not a good look that's happening right now.
5 jobs.
Well, list them all.
List them. So I was the tour guide, right? And then I was an undergraduate researcher at a lab in Boston College.
It's also I know that it is technically real, but also it does also kind of feel fake. Like they're like, yay, we're kind of. You're like, anyways, continue.
It was more like internship work. It was like, oh, we'll help.
Did you get paid?
I did get paid. Yes.
Okay.
So I did get paid, which is why I count it. This is like really the only qualifier. So there was that one. I am currently working as I also work as a personal assistant to a historian. I do that. And then it looks like you have something you want to say, something quivering on your lips.
What kind of historian?
American history. American history, like public history too. So she's like a very public facing, writes a lot of books, goes on tours, all that jazz. So that's job 3. There was another nuclear policy job before this one, and now the current kind of nuclear Wyoming job. I think I might be forgetting a couple, but that sounds like 5. That might be it. That might be it.
That's a lot of nuclear.
No, I mean, you are definitely have. Out of all the people we've had on, your job list definitely has. You're the only one we've had on that has a career. I'll just put it like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone else, it is just jobs.
Like Chuck Fury didn't have
this. Well, yeah. I mean, this is. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is like the steps into like having a successful career that does effective work and is like an aspirational pursuit. And so this is actually a big moment for us. Big get.
Yeah, this is a big get.
Big step up for us.
This is a fired up. So you've fired up first.
So you've never worked as a delivery driver for Amazon?
I have never worked as a delivery driver for Amazon.
Customer service jobs.
I do a little bit of customer service for the historian job. I have to. Okay. I field a lot of customer service emails.
Okay.
For those.
Okay, so not real. Not really.
No,
okay.
like front.
No. It's collegiate, like white collar, kind of stuff, which is fun because it's a new perspective.
No, like fast food experience.
That's
I haven't
fine.
been there. It's just been.
Although you would be great on the mic at a fast.
I would have loved to have been a drive-through operator.
You would have been actually amazing.
I mean, what's holding you back?
What? Nothing actually.
You could get the job today.
I should go to the Chick-fil-A right now. Well, I don't know.
No, I love Chick-fil-A, but you should go to Taco Bell because I would just love to hear you describing the new Cheez-It Crunch Wrap.
is that their new product?
I just ate it.
Cheez-It product.
How was that?
It's good. I like it. I love Taco Bell.
I told Amanda, I was like, maybe we should like break our.
Are you guys on doing a Taco Bell fast?
No, they always talk about how they're on a diet, and then and then it just continues to say they're on a diet, and then after a couple months, you're like, so are we gonna see any difference at some point?
Actually, it is interesting because one of my favorite forms of comedy is just straightly describing new fast food products.
Oh yeah,
I think it's hilarious, and I think I'd have a great time in a drive-thru.
You need to. Yeah, you'd be great because I just would love hearing like, "Hello, friends.
Hello,
welcome to Taco Bell. May I interest you in the Crunch Wrap Cheez-It edition?" I don't know. There's something like you'd find your way with it.
Real sexy, real groovy on the line here. I'm staking my entire reputation here.
Yeah. And I just think it would be actually a great fit. And yeah, it's like you'd just be like, did you ever do musical theater?
I did not. I never did musical theater.
I got very excited.
I know. I cannot. I'm tone deaf, so I actually can't.
You don't have to. You can just be a dancer.
Theater?
I can. Did I what?
Regular theater?
Did I do? I did a couple of productions in kindergarten. I did a kindergarten production and then later a second grade production.
What about high school?
I took a drama class in high school, but it never really amounted to anything. I'm afraid. No book shows.
No, I mean, okay. No, it's okay. I mean,
thank you. I'm glad. I needed that validation.
I know. Well, I mean, honestly, you probably saved your life out there because if you started doing plays, you may have been killed.
I would have gotten sucked in.
I can't believe they do musical.
If I would have done plays in Idaho, I would be dead.
Can't believe they do musical theater up in North Ekman, Idaho. I just can't. But hey, anyways. But no, I wish I did more theater in high school because I did one drama class as well in my senior year. And I got in there and I was like, I should have just been doing this. This is definitely more my scene. And I remember I did Hello Dolly.
You did Hello? Really?
Yeah, I was in Hello Dolly. I was the head waiter at this the restaurant they go to. So my big line was I'd walk out and they'd be like, "Is Dolly here?" And I'd be like, "It's true, yeah." And I'd be like, do this big wave. And I remember I would put on like my makeup and I'd be doing my eyebrows. And I was like, this feels way too natural.
Would that get a big reaction from the audience too?
And all of the crew would come up just to see me do that and then go back down.
Is that
that was the truest you ever felt to yourself,
kept doing
Quinn?
That, bigger and bigger.
Was that like the seed of you doing stand-up? Like you did something and the crowd reacted and you're like, that felt good.
I'll say, actually, you know what the biggest seed was? In all honesty, it was the I was like, so in the when you're in the church when you're like, what is it? You're like in the youth and like you're in the priest quorum. like you can be selected to like represent like your ward in the stake. And you have those meetings, you know, where it's like a couple people, like teenagers, and like you guys kind of help set up youth conference.
Yeah.
So we set up youth conference.
You were one of those?
Yeah.
You were one of those youths? You were a representative.
Yeah, because people like me.
An emissary of the Lord, Quinn.
I know. My friend also was, because it was just him and another guy, and that was their whole preschool. But anyway, so we set up this like youth youth conference, and all the guys like me, guys and girls, we had to like get up in front of everyone and talk. I do a little talk about our favorite hymn, and then they would perform it, and everyone would like sing like one verse. And I just chose the longest. Like, what's the longest song? And so like the hymn would take for it, because we're only doing one verse, but like, how can I make this as long as possible? Anyways, so the guy tries to play it on the piano. This like 16-year-old kid, and he can't play it, and it's like already fucking it up.
It's already probably like a weird underground
it's like
hymn.
some hymn I've never heard of.
Okay.
And so he's just like already messing it up. And so I just start like hamming it up, like conducting it. And I see like people like laughing. And at this time, all I wanted to be was like a film director. And then once I started doing this and like being in front of everyone, like, and seeing people laugh, I was like, oh, that's really cool. This is it. That's something different. That's probably like the biggest like thing where I was like, actually, I'd rather like, because I never thought I wanted like to perform, but I was like, this is pretty cool actually. So anyways, that was probably the moment.
That way, you got your performance bug conducting a hymn at a stake youth meeting.
Yes.
Wow. I never really pictured that as a comedy origin story for Quinn Johnson.
Dude, and I would walk around. I'm like, I'm gonna wear an outfit to this. So I wear a costume. I dressed up as a hobo. I cut off these gloves, and I'd have like this like sack. I would just like walk around like between the lessons, and I can. Some people like some leaders would be like, is there like a homeless guy here? Yeah, but that was like, it was fun. And then I went on a scout outing. I dressed up like Crocodile Dundee. I had cut off jeans.
You leaned in.
I wore rainbow socks, and in a gas station in the middle of Utah, a dude called me a faggot.
You were a special lad.
Yeah, dude called me I was like 16, and dude, they was like, excuse me, you fucking faggot. And then like, it was that had never happened before.
Really?
You owe so much to the church, Quinn. Why did you leave?
No, I sometimes I question why I did.
You know?
I've never seen a faggot,
because I love John, by the way,
in the wild, where someone like, because when I was high school, we said it all the time, but we only said it to other straight guys. Said it to other straight guys. But I'm
sure it wasn't just.
Well, I'm
sure it wasn't.
Sure wasn't. Are you sure?
Yeah. And I've learned since high school.
Sure, that's why you just said it.
Yeah. That was, dude.
Come on, you're among friends, Drew. You're among friends.
I've learned since then.
Throw in another one for your German listeners.
But yeah, I never seen a gay person bullied called a fag in the wild. I've never.
I feel like
I think you have, Drew.
I think you
have.
I'm gonna name one person right now, who's a good friend of yours who moved here with you from Washington.
Yeah.
I would like you to describe some of the stuff you said to his face.
Oh yeah. Well, that's different.
I was just telling him what he was doing was abhorrent to God.
No, that is fun. I feel
know that I love you as a friend, but I can't support what you're doing.
Like in high school, where I was like a more evolved human. This was like last year. I also
just want to highlight once again, to reiterate, no one's ever complained about Drew's comedy.
No one ever has. No,
it was a fun bit. Okay, it was a fun
bit.
Yeah.
You're the straight-laced Mormon at Skankfest.
Yeah, dude. I have to like tell people, like, just so you know, like, Drew is Mormon, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah.
Like actually attending Mormon.
Yeah.
No, I don't get homophobia, but I definitely
perform it.
Yeah, I perform it. No, but actually, because in high school, Clayton was closeted bisexual, and so he actually did real homophobias in high school. Like calling kids fags and stuff, or like apparently like one time at a party he was hanging out with another dude, and then they started brushing up shoulders, and then he socked the dude in the face and called him a fag. So I don't I never would do that, but I definitely I've had some bad moments, but I've never understood aggressive homophobia. I was just trying to bring a brother to Christ.
Yeah, dude. Well, also this is also something we did talk about last week, where I have noticed through doing this podcast that when sometimes we'll joke about some gay thing or whatever, and Drew will be the one who pushes back the most. I'm like, well, that's not me.
That's not me.
I don't do that. And it's like, it is kind of like that closeted Clayton thing, where sometimes people that push back on it the most.
No,
there is definitely a trope.
That is,
I'm not gay, but I would make out with Quinn. I would.
Yeah. I wouldn't. That's.
I'd make out with you, Drew. That's how not gay I am. I'm ready to put it on the line by making out with each and every. You want to kiss on camera right now, Drew?
Exactly.
That was a fun thing. Like, I remember high school and football. Like, we had like prison style showers, and I would not shower with the team. And they're like, "What? Why are you not going to shower with us? You gay? Like, is that why?" It
is actually such a fun, like, Uno reverse.
Yeah, and I was very uncomfortable being naked in front of a bunch of dudes.
You gay? Would you hold it?
And then, like, I was always like, that was a fun, like, haha. And then, like, now years pass, like, I found out that like half of those guys were bisexual. Mm-hmm. So now I'm more glad I didn't shower with them.
Yeah,
but
that was the
the homophobic thing right there. You were glad you didn't shower with some bisexual guys.
You're afraid
that's the true colors.
You were afraid the temptation was gonna get to you, and the devil does live in the water.
Mm-hmm. He does. He controls them.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So they would have got you.
Well, no, the devil doesn't live in the water. It's just some people can't swim, and
the devil does live in our assholes,
like paying for insurance. That's what I found out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Slam dunk.
Yeah. Anyways, so this is.
I really like the format of this podcast. Start with me, go back to Drew.
The more we've done it, the more fun it becomes. Because Drew, he's not going to go to therapy, or he goes maybe once and then won't go again.
I just started going. Yeah.
How many times have you gone?
3 times.
And what period of time?
From the beginning of May until now.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. What do you feel? How do you feel about it?
I don't love it.
Okay.
It's a thing though. It's like, it is kind of like you're working out though. It's like, because you're gonna be talking about shit you normally don't like to think about usually.
Yeah.
So it's at first, especially, it might not be the most fun thing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, we're going to talk about all the things I hate. Oh,
yeah, it's not.
Talk about the showers again? Oh, no.
No, I'm not traumatized from any of that. I will say though, as like a freshman in high school, I weighed 130 pounds, and being on the freshman football team was terrifying, because like when you're 130 pounds, you're 14 years old. These like 17, 18-year-old seniors who have beards, like they look like grown men, and they all made jokes about how they're going to make us suck their dicks. And it was pretty terrifying. And our football
camp, you weren't traumatized.
No, I mean, it was terrifying, but nothing happened.
Not traumatizing.
I
was
difference.
Scared as fuck, but not traumatized.
And they did get one of us.
One of them did.
So they at football camp, they got a freshman and locked him into one of the dorm rooms, and then stripped him naked, shoved a banana up his ass, and then...
Was it a banana?
At this point,
let's just believe it's a banana.
But when the coach asked about it, it was hazing, and so it was
fun
2007.
Hazing.
Yeah, fun and games. You know what boys get.
But
real John Hams in the making.
They definitely got like the most the toughest freshman dude on our freshman football team. Mm-hmm. And so in my mind, I was like, fuck, if they could get him.
They were just teaching you guys a lesson.
Yeah,
they just think the toughest one.
They're showing you what football's like.
Yeah.
They didn't have to teach you a lesson.
Did you see like Tom Brady's speech he just gave at the Hall of Fame induction?
No, I didn't.
He gave a speech about football and like why everyone should do it, because it's hard. And it's like, you need to and it's like when people are, like on summer break, like waking up eating pancakes, like you're going to a football camp, you're waking up early, you're sweating, you're with people who are older than you, you're getting beat up and getting
It builds character.
And getting bananas put up their
Yeah.
ass.
No, it's all character building. It's not. You shouldn't shy away from it.
Exactly.
You
So
should
why
kind of
did you
embrace it.
shy? Why did you shy away from the showers then?
Yeah. Oh, he already. told me
No. That is.
I know, but like he's talking about this
That is
now.
a good
Yeah.
point, because if you don't want to do something, you should do it because it builds
Exactly.
character,
So
makes you
kiss me.
stronger.
Yeah, kiss me right now on camera,
Well,
Drew.
Yeah.
There's a twist. He does want to kiss us, and that's why he's not gonna. Fuck.
That's right.
Not to us.
That's nuts.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, it's very interesting, and also like think about like if you actually had really embraced all that, you'd probably be in the NFL. Yeah.
I don't like how hard he laughed at that. That's
Yeah. Think about it, dude. Like
Yeah.
And then he would have been
You weren't true to yourself, Drew.
also pull him to the
Also-
frame a bit.
also-
okay.
I just
I'm a little
wanna-
out.
I just want to point out.
Let me just get a little bit.
I just
closer.
want to point out too. Remember when you're like, I'm not homophobic at all, and then we were talking about the Beast Mode shirt. You're like, I was pretty dumb. I'm wearing another dude's merchandise, which I like
did
too because
contradict myself.
And then also you wore it. Like you
Yeah.
bought the shirt and wore it, and I can't believe I wore that.
Yeah, dude. And this was like, that picture was taken like weeks after they lost the Super Bowl, where they
Nice.
threw on the 1 yard line.
You decided to support your boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
you're
at-
like, you know what they needed? They needed the
They
Lord.
needed Drew.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, he needs the Lord. Also, like most of what you wear is like sports memorabilia. You're just
Yeah.
watching young men just work their ass off,
yeah.
just sweat, and you're like, who like out of all the things that would make you cry, sports have got to be like number one.
That is number one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Watching
yeah.
these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of
these guys. Seeing them,
bunch of guys
seeing these guys
bunch of
happy
guys.
across it.
They work so hard.
They work so hard, Drew.
They're so happy.
So hard.
Well, and here's the thing.
God didn't
the
pick them to
selfish
win.
thing is like, I could care less about them.
That's just not true.
Well, no.
You
when-
could care less about
no.
the individual players on Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Who are your favorite NBA players?
Yeah, no, they're all Gonzaga players.
Okay, so
No, if thinking about them winning the championship makes me think about, my hometown and how growing up, everyone in my hometown, we all wanted this thing to
but
happen.
if they
and
did
it never
that,
does.
If they did that, would you frame a jersey of like the star athlete on that team? Would you consider that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you
it'd
say
be-
so
it'd
many
be-
things
It would
that
be up in the podcast
don't make
studio.
fucking sense.
QED,
That's right.
Drew.
It's
QED.
okay. You can say it's fine to be like, yeah, I like these guys. These
Support
guys
the
are cool.
boys, Drew. Support the boys.
But like not saying you would like you think about your town. That's why you like Gonzaga.
Well,
and
no,
not these
that is
athletes.
why I like.
Not these athletes and like how much do you like fucking Timmy?
Oh, dude, yeah. Dude,
All
Timmy's the man.
these guys have brought you joy. These specific guys who are not from your hometown.
No.
But they play.
A lot are.
Yeah, but not all. A lot of
A lot,
of the stars are from Spokane, Washington, at Gonzaga.
Dude, last year, one of their starters was.
One of them.
One.
Yeah.
How many?
but
How many starters are there on a basketball team?
5. All right, Bear.
And there's a bench. Hello, a dog entered. I'm just saying, honestly, it sounds more like you're trying. It's like it sounds like you're trying to hide from us the fact that you do enjoy
Well,
some men out there. Doesn't mean you enjoy them sexually, but the fact that you won't be like, I like Timmy. Like he's cool.
I said I love Timmy.
I know, but I had to get it out of you.
You did get it out of me.
That's why I came. That's why I came to Utah.
Yeah.
To get it out of you, Drew.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, I
I'm
do
glad.
have in my closet right now. I do have a Russell Wilson jersey.
Did you cry when he got traded?
I did not cry.
You did.
But you
No,
felt emotional.
No, you famously cried when you called Amanda
No, here.
on the phone, and Amanda thought someone died.
No, okay. She did. I didn't cry.
Oh,
But it was-
That's the hill I'm dying on.
Oh,
but the tone was.
Can you recreate kind of what you sounded like?
Oh yeah.
Do it.
How did you start the call? Like,
All right, and you're Amanda,
Okay. Hey, Drew, what's going on?
and then silence. I don't know. They got rid of him. He's gone. He's gone. Who's gone? You gotta be Amanda.
Who's gone?
They traded Russell Wilson.
Where?
Fucking Denver.
So who?
We're not gonna win a Super Bowl for 15 years.
Who did they get to replace him?
No one.
So you just left without a man now?
I'm not even gonna watch a single game this season.
And that wasn't true.
And I said that on the phone though. I said I'm not watching a single game. And then I watched every game the next season.
Yeah. And then the irony is then Russell Wilson sucked at Denver.
Yeah. No, and so that was really easy to get over.
Yeah, but obviously once he started to suck. But
yeah,
first,
when you see an ex fail, it's really easy to get over.
The way Amanda she described it, she was like, it was one of the most devastated she's ever seen you.
Well, she didn't see it. But it was on
dude,
the phone.
Shut the
I called
fuck
her.
up, dude. Yeah, okay. I know, I get it. But still, I'm just saying, dude, you love dudes. Doesn't not mean sexually. Doesn't have to be sexually.
I know I love dudes.
The dudes are great.
Yeah, who's your favorite dude right now?
Yeah, who's the best dude?
Which
dude are you thinking about the most these days?
And then also same for Nicholas later.
Okay,
that's a great question, actually.
Yeah. Favorite dude currently, or like it could be like it doesn't have to be like the most favorite, but dude, just right now.
I mean, because right now it's the off season.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more music right now. So I'm listening to a lot of Zach Bryan.
Okay.
So that's probably the dude I'm thinking about the most.
Okay, Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really not familiar with him.
Oh, dude. So I don't know if I saw this video on YouTube that kind of described him pretty well. It was like he is like country music's like Nirvana moment, because like in the 80s all the music was like hair metal and it was fun, like Motley Crue. And then Nirvana comes onto the scene and people are like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then they're like, I don't want that music. They're like, I want to get into Kurt Cobain's head. And
hey.
people like who are listening to country.
Did you say that on purpose?
What?
Did you say that on purpose? They want to get into Kurt Cobain's head?
His mind.
I know, but you know.
Yeah. I didn't get the joke.
I know. But I just wanted to double check.
I'm drawing the comparison here.
Okay.
And then so they're saying like people don't want stupid music about, tractors or beer or whatever stereotypical country song. They're like, oh, I want to hear Zach Bryan write a song about his mom dying from alcohol withdrawals.
Mm-hmm.
So I like his stuff. It's pretty cool.
All right. And Nicholas, how about you?
So have you seen Godzilla -1?
Yeah. Just watched it.
The doctor, the one who schemes up the plot to destroy Godzilla. He is
the hair.
Oh, he's a bona fide cutie, Quinn. I think about him and his hair. I've been thinking about that for probably the past 24 hours. I watched it again last night, and just after I got back from Wise Guys, I'm like, I can't get this guy out of my head. He's a cutie.
I haven't talked to you in a while. Do you like guys?
I love guys, but not
romantically.
I don't, not romantically. Sometimes, I'm like, wow, that's a real cute guy. I just kind of want to be around that real cute guy, I don't want to like.
I know.
Yeah,
And okay. So you don't like guys, but you love guys.
But I love guys. I don't like guys, but I do love them.
This is a great podcast.
This is fun.
We've really solved everything here. We've really figured it all out.
From Idaho.
I know. We did definitely establish certain things happen to you in Idaho.
That's right. Quinn, what guy are you thinking about the most these days?
I'll show you.
Oh, hot dog.
Charles Leclerc.
Oh, dude, I don't know who that is.
He's a Formula One driver.
Oh, okay.
Drives for Ferrari. He's an incredible race car driver. He's also very hot.
Mm-hmm.
Love me. He has this great accent.
Where's he from?
Monte Carlo.
Okay.
He's Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing is, though, he's very hot. Amazing race car driver. But I have seen a video of him trying to shoot a basketball. I just have to pretend that doesn't exist.
Is that an ick for you, Quinn?
I mean, it's I mean, he's a European guy. Like it's and he
It's not their thing.
takes his shirt off.
It's not
and
their
it's like
thing.
I don't know why they took their shirts off. I'm like, how like hot you guys? But,
Skins.
But like it's like, but he's like, it's like
we're all
he
skins.
looks like he's like, it's like, dude, it is like it's so bad.
Dude, when I was in Guatemala watching them, whenever anyone touched a basketball, it was just hooking it at the basket.
And dude, and I'm so bad at basketball, but I'm like, I felt like fucking Steph Curry watching him. Like, and it is fun to like see these like I remember I was in Edinburgh on my mission. We went to like the university campground, or the big fields, and they were like, we just found these guys who had a American football, just throwing it. These Scottish guys, and they were just like, just like toss it. And me and my companion walked up like, hey, we're from America. You want us to see how to throw a football? Like, you know, like,
Did you help them?
yeah, because it's like it's just crazy. It's like it's the most athletic I've ever felt.
Oh,
And
dude.
and it's like I like throwing footballs, but I would just play with my friend. Like we wouldn't, but like yeah, but like just that.
But they were
little
just
thing. But they have no idea. You know,
I would play basketball with like the young men in whatever branch I was in Guatemala. And we'd play like 4v1, and I felt like LeBron James against these little Guatemalans, like
just knocking it out.
Yeah, just almost. I can't dunk, but like getting up there.
but like yeah, dude.
But dude, just blocking shots, like aggressive,
Minimum effort.
smacking the ball.
You're like, is this what like any black dude feels like? Like what?
This is the coolest I have ever felt.
Oh, dude, I felt so cool.
It's pretty awesome.
And then we played soccer, and I felt so dumb after that. Like,
you know, I mean, I've been watching like these two black dudes are reacting to like videos of like Messi, like like these guys just like they're like practicing just like the tricks they're doing with their feet, and they just keep being like, what the fuck? It truly is like mind blowing. You're like, but yeah, it's the same shit when you like, yeah, you watch like, I don't know if they are. I mean, I don't know if they're as blown away with Tom Brady, but
there's no impressive Tom Brady highlight reel.
Well, you're so fucking stupid.
No, dude. Here's the thing. I'm a Tom Brady fan, and he is the best player to ever play.
Mm-hmm.
You prove it. Kiss a Bostonian.
Kiss him.
Well, well, you're not native Bostonian.
Didn't we establish that I was a native Bostonian at the beginning of the podcast? Like a native Bostonian.
That was for comedic effect.
Make it fast. We got to wrap up.
Yeah. Well, anywho, Amanda was like, what made him so great? And then I was like, look at the numbers.
You go quick release.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he had a quick release. But I was like, look at the numbers. How many Super Bowls he won? Like, no one has as many touchdowns, yards. And then she's like, okay, let's see like some highlights. And I was searching for a good highlight reel. It's just, there's nothing like.
They exist. I've seen them. Also, I think with him, the main impressive thing with him, because you watch all these amazing quarterbacks, you have some good highlights. Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar Jackson.
Dude, Lamar Jackson.
I love Lamar Jackson.
It is so fun.
But the difference with Tom Brady, and this applies to everything, with like any amazing athlete or incredible person, with like it's the way they handle pressure. And with Tom Brady, he just has ice in his veins, like, you know, this
is what I tried to like convey to Amanda, but it doesn't translate well to like a 5-minute highlight reel of his best plays of his
you know
career.
What you should do instead of that? You say, you know what, Tom Brady is impressive. You know what's really impressive? A nuclear reactor. And you start showing that, you know. Anyways, would we hire?
Well, he's definitely the most qualified person
easily
to ever come here.
Easily the most qualified person.
Definitely the most educated.
And the way he can lobby. Like, you're kind of a lobbyist.
I would love to be a lobbyist.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. You want money.
I could roll into that field.
Would you work for Raytheon?
I
help them with their nukes.
The Raytheon does have an office out in Boston, and I did consider applying to a couple of Raytheon jobs.
How about Boeing?
Boeing, no. Boeing has clearly hit the fan. They're nosediving right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
Airbus.
Our business.
Business.
We could absolutely use you.
Okay.
You know, because we're gonna have to lobby people to actually listen to this podcast.
Okay.
And I feel like you're just the way we've already discussed how good you'd be in a fast food window.
That's right.
We just kind of, like you'd be perfect for us. And also a great example of an idyllic figure for the rest of our staff to look up to and be like, that's what you should do in life. This is where you're supposed to exist.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have aspirations and actually follow through on them, you know?
Oh, thank you.
And and so we could really use you in the office, but also you probably wouldn't be in the office because you'd be out in Congress.
I want to be out there. I want to go out and tell, and I just want to tell, I guess the people at home listening and watching is go out to Taco Bell and get yourself a Cheez-It. What is it? A Cheez-It Crunch Wrap, guys.
Oh, dude, you sound like a politician already.
Oh.
Dude, it's like when it's like Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl, and the first thing he said when they're like, "How you feeling right now?" He was like, "I feel like I want to go home and drink Coca-Cola and eat Papa John's."
Yes, Papa John's.
It was the first thing he said, like when they brought the mic to him.
The most recent, the one with the Broncos.
I can't remember if it was the Broncos. It might have been the Broncos. But
he looks at his hand. It's just like smeared pen.
Dude, I was watching
Coca-Cola and
and I was watching with my family. My dad was like, "Yeah, I definitely got paid to say that." My dad's pretty fun to watch stuff with. Sometimes he sees through all the bullshit.
He does.
Yeah. He saw right through it.
Saw right through it, dude. No, he's a CIA agent, dude. I was like, I didn't see. I was like, I thought he just liked it, you know.
I want to go Coca-Cola and Papa John's.
Yeah, I've never had Papa John's, but I kind of want it.
I've got a hankering.
I want to be a Peyton Manning. Anyways, love having you here. Sad to see you go back to Boston, but anyways,
it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for having me, guys. This has been a thrill. I really enjoyed popping on this podcast. I just want
to say that right before this, my friend is a bartender in Salt Lake. He texted me and said, "Hey, Nick Swartzen just walked in here. You should come." And I said, "God damn it, I'm in Provo." But then I put my phone down and I said, I don't really care because I get a podcast with Nicholas Stubblefield today.
With Nicholas. That's
so
right.
actually, I'm like, so I'm actually very happy here.
Okay, thank you very much.
He's going to be bigger than Nick Swartzen.
Yeah.
One day. I will probably never perform drunk on stage. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, never say never. But
never say never. You're right. Quinn, thanks for not holding me back.
Never say never. Also, you're probably the first comic to have a special at Chernobyl.
Yes.
That would be sick. That'd actually be
the
coolest.
Cool.
That would be
special.
Yeah, we need to wrap up.
Don't tell Ukraine.
We need to stop. We need to stop.
Yeah.
Don't tell Ukraine.
We need to end that war so Nick can film his special.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it right there.
Okay, Cheez-It Crunch
Goodbye.
Wrap.